my thing. We're going to take, we're going to put bow shot on right click, and we're going to move left click to move only. So I hold down right click to shoot things. That's better. Close that inventory tab. All right, we're looking to search for the miller and find safety in Clearfell. Do I get it? Yep, okay, we can do the same map thing we do in the other one. We get the overlay map. Large chest with lightning arrow.
String to my bow.
I got a gem. Okay, it's a lightning attack, and I can slot it. Aha! So slots are no longer on items. They are directly on other things here. So if I place it in one of my sockets, and now I get a thing here. And we can left-click to bind that skill. I'm going to go ahead and bind it. I'm binding it to this, but we're going to quickly change some key bindings here. Okay, I see. Support gem capacity. I can support 1 strength gem, 3, or you can support 1. You can have 1 support gem per 5 points in that attribute. Okay, I like this new mechanism better than trying to have all of my gear giving me the slots I need in addition to the other stuff I need. And this is a projectile or skills. We imagine skills panel. This is the skills panel. Okay. Alt to inspect. Aha. In beam. Okay. And then we have additional effects from the quiver. Okay. Cool. And it will follow chaining lightning beams at things. Okay. Cool. And tells, yeah, gives me some sense of my DPS there. And I can also expand it out to see what's going on there. It always attack without moving, used with weapon set 1 and 2. Nice. Okay, I like how this is working. So we're going to make a small change to, again, go toward the layout I use in Path of Exile 1. We're going to go to Options, Input, Use Bound Skill 4. It's currently set to Q. I'm going to set it to Mouse 5, which is the button that's under my thumb. This button here, because I have a gamer mouse. Okay, and then I'm going to set this one here to mouse 4, which is the one under the back of my thumb, and then we're going to set these to Q, W, E. So fewer keys to keep my fingers on. I have a dodge roll. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, now I can use my new skill with that mouse button, I hope. We're going to find out. I need to find an enemy that needs to be... Oh, yeah, I do have a dodge roll. Okay. I gotta find an enemy that needs to be shot at. There's a checkpoint there. But I can't go to it. Okay. Oh, it is still bound to... Oh, I didn't save the change.
Effective.
Okay, hang on. Right. Options... Input. Yep, those changes didn't get saved because I didn't save them. Save. All right. Now has that thing disappeared? Yes, that thing disappeared. It wanted me to test my move there. Okay. There we are. We have a checkpoint, which looks like they're kind of like the waypoints from PoE 1. Cool. Kind of exploring here a bit. Hello, you.
I shall overcome.
My mana is low. That's nice of it to let me know that. But, you know. Oh, you shoot back, jerk. I can press 1 to use a life flask. Okay, my life flask will refill as I heal. Okay. So we're going to make a small change to my skills here. Skills panel. Lightning arrow. Alt. Hang on, there was a thing. Do I expand this out? Yes. Always attack without moving. I'm an archer. I don't want to move unless I am telling myself to move. Similarly, if we go over here to bow shot, always attack without moving. Okay. I have move on a separate button. We don't move just because I want to attack. Much better. Now my character isn't randomly wandering in the directions where I am shooting things. There's another checkpoint. Okay, multiple checkpoints per map. That's a very different way of this game is doing it.
Fury!
Mana is low. Use press 2 to use the mana flask. Okay. And I've leveled. Okay. So let's see. Press P to allocate my skill point. Okay, we got ourselves a big ol' skill tree as usual. All right. So let's take a quick look at what we've got here. We've got increased projectile damage or increased evasion. This will add to my attributes. These will let me get my reflections of things. Okay. So I don't know anything about what build I'm going for. I'm not going to be like looking up builds and things. That's not who I am. I'm going to go for evasion. I mean, okay, the spiderweb of builds, this is why you play Path of Exile. Classes are a suggestion. The difference between this class and this is what stats I start with and which of these nodes I begin at. That's all in these games, which I really like. So you will build yourself a thing by kind of going in directions around stuff. I'm going to go for some extra evasion. Apply. There we go. Like, that chart is the reason you play this game. It's the flexibility to make all kinds of wild builds. We're just going to kind of explore this map. Let's go ahead and get the map view up here. Okay, so there's a checkpoint up that way. I'm just kind of exploring what we haven't seen, in part because I want to, grind some level here. Okay. Clicking on heads, clicking on heads. Okay. As we come over this way here, and I periodically pop my map up a lot because I get lost in games easily, and so jumping back and forth between my main map and my sort of sub map here. Let's not die. There we go. We've used a flask. So the porcupine crabs are my big threat on this map because they have range. Nothing else gets near me to touch me. But if I see a porcupine crab, it can shoot at me, and that's not what we want. Also, I've got to get used to a solo play style here. In Path of Exile 1, I almost always play with Kai, so I'm used to being part of a two-person team. And I'm doing this solo on stream today, so, you know. Okay, so that checkpoint is where we're headed. If I click a checkpoint right, I can basically move myself to other checkpoints. That's neat. But now we continue on this way. Ah, besieged encampment.
The journey is...
Okay, press spacebar to dodge the attack.
Storming arrow.
Okay, combat is a little bit more positional than the previous one.
No mana.
Not quite as just clicking on heads. Excuse me, I'd really like to not be here. Until my health refills. Okay. Ow. If this is like the other one, then killing ads helps me refill my flasks, which I will need to do because I'm having some trouble now. Okay, I have died. Reset checkpoint, which will be right around the corner, and this fight will still be probably. Do I have to start this fight over?
The
Yep.
journey is not
Okay.
kind to you.
So you can't... One thing you could do in the previous game was you would basically rejoin the battle already in progress. That appears to not be how it works around here. Ow. Okay, so I gotta get confident with this.
Prepare yourself.
Okay. I have so little life. Okay. Search for the miller, find safety in Clearfell. Finding safety is maybe a little harder than it seems, because...
The journey has not been kind to you.
Do I have a shield or any method of blocking attacks? Not on this class, I don't. And if it's just dodge rolling, do my dodge rolls have iframes? Great question. So I know what you've seen so far. Oh no, not where I want to be. Don't be near him. Okay, we use the lightning arrow when we're on the ads. We use the regular arrows on him to let me regen mana. Split you is that attack. Okay, bring up.
Fury!
Don't be where I am. When he says split you, don't be where I was. He's slow. Ow. Ow, shit. Okay, we've got a problem now because I don't have... Oh, okay, I'm out of flask charges now. Defeating magic, rare, unique monsters or bosses. Okay. Regular old mooks don't refill flasks in this game. Okay, unlike the other game. So, hit point management matters a lot more this time. Okay, we did it. We did it.
Man or beast,
Whew.
they die the same.
Okay. I'm gonna grab some items. Do I have any stun abilities yet? No. No. Okay, like, to be clear, here's what we got. Lightning arrow. Converts 40% of physical damage to lightning damage, and when it hits an enemy or wall, it will fire chain lightning beams at nearby enemies. That's it. Like, you know, we're level 2 here. We've been in this game for minutes. Entire minutes. Okay, we made it through into the first encampment. Here we go.
Well done.
Okay, alright, repeatedly damaging enemies can cause them to become stunned. So this has a similar mechanic to stun to the previous game, where hitting things hard is a way of doing stun. I can see why people who are looking for this to be Path of Exile, but again, are disappointed. This is a different game.
Weeks of desperation. Best be careful who I trust.
Alright, we got other players here. Instructor
Renly's the
Renly.
name. You're skilled with the violence. If what you did out there in the riverbanks is any sign.
Skilled with the violence.
Another refugee from the Count's justice, I take it. Well, have no fear. This place is something of a hideaway for many of us now, and we could sorely use your skills in these dark times. I'll smith for you what I can, if you're willing to bend your violence toward our defense.
Okay, and we get an uncut skill gem, which will create a skill gem up to level 1. Neat.
There's a beast of particular dark power stalking us out in the Felling. It moves unseen under the dirt and attacks without warning. We can't leave the walls to find food, and I've been unable to corner and slay the beast myself.
Okay.
Now, if you could channel your violence against this devourer, as Finn calls it, we'd be indebted to you.
Okay, interesting. So in the previous game, you don't really accept quests. The quests just hit you constantly. But, alright, I would get another uncut support gem and some gold. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. Alright, we can talk to some folks now. Let's see. Clearfell.
Well, this place was never meant to house this many people, especially not the sick and injured. But there's nowhere else to go.
Alright, we get some plot.
The monsters creeping out of the forest keep us locked within these wooden walls, and the Count's tyranny has made outlaws of everyone here. So nobody's coming to save us. I don't have a heart to tell the others I don't see a way to survive this. I put on a brave face, but it's the truth.
Alright.
This part of Farrell has been a fair home for many an Essamite generation. The clans didn't always get along, but we had to settle our feuds when the Eternals laid their savage boot upon us. We weren't able to take part in the Bloody Flowers Rebellion, but we had our share of conflict with them here. Their ruins run over the top of ours, fighting a silent war in stone.
Okay, so, that place, that is probably meaningless to anybody who hasn't been following the lore of the mainline Path of Exile, but that situates us in the same world as Path of Exile in a very different place. Those are both, the Essamites are a distant culture in the base game.
It's a shame what happened to old Brannock. He was a kind man in life, but I can't say I'll miss the creature he became. Oh, he tried to batter his way in for 5 full days once he rose again. Well, we thought we were done for, but then you came along, and I'm glad you did.
Okay, and we can buy or sell items here.
Anything take your fancy?
All right. And these flasks are both unidentified, which means they might do something else in addition to just give me life. So let's go ahead and identify these flasks. Yeah, tell the protagonist they did a good job. Exactly. Okay. Oops. Hang on.
Tools
look at my
of
inventory.
the forge
All right.
turned tools of war.
Opaque lesser life flask
These
of
are
the
dangerous
apprentice.
times.
43% increased amount covered and 15% reduced charges per use. Yeah, 55. This is just straight better. Okay, and then this one here, Simmering Lesser Life Flask of the Wide, has 27% increased charges and applies 22% of its recovery instantly. I mean, that's also fairly worth having. Okay, cool, and hopefully these will open up into additional flask things. Is it possible to get a bad identification on an item? As in, have the item be a bad thing to have, or as in, get an identification that is wrong? So, thing one is unidentified items are unusable. So until an item is identified, you can't do anything with it. You cannot get a wrong identification. But this is Diablo-like. This is basically, your goal is to get the combination of modifiers that turn you into some kind of a combo powerhouse. Hey, we have a proclamation over here. Let's go see it. Yeah, there's a waypoint there, which... Okay, so waypoints do work like the previous game. Okay, so teleport, Act 1. We're getting a map screen up. Okay. So we could go back to the river bank, where we defeated the bloated miller. Over here we've got Bear of the Rotten Pack, Clearfell, where we have Slay the Devourer. Okay, so we've got kind of this map around Act 1. Neat. Okay, and these are the places we can go and the various things we might need to do here. Mysterious campsite. Cool. Oh, and we also have above and below ground. Ah, down there we have the Devourer. Okay, I like what they've done with the map. Nice. Let's go read the proclamation.
By decree of the Count of Ogham, able-bodied men capable of excavation must present themselves at the manor at once. Failure to do so will constitute a crime.
So they're digging something. We got the well where we refill our life mana and flasks. In the in PoE 1, this just happens automatically when you enter a town. So, okay. We have Una over here.
Welcome to the camp of the lost, stranger. We survive, but we do not live. I am Una. All this began the night Count Gino took his most loyal men into the Grellwood. After he returned, a madness grew in him. Something happened out there. Please, I beg of you, travel into the forest and begin your search. There must be some clue as to what took place.
Okay, so the Count, the guy who, killed us,
I fear this land's sickness will only deepen unless we do something.
so this is a mainline quest. We can't not accept it. Yeah, my suspicion here is that, this is... Yeah, this is the guy who did it. Okay, so it's what's the inciting incident that caused him to, put us up and, yeah.
Renly brings the strength, Finn brings the wit, and I'm doing my best to keep spirits raised with my songs. Hope is the only thing we have now, but it's in short supply.
And then
He doubts
Renly.
himself, but I know he will find a way to protect us. He is a good man, and I am thankful for his presence. In many ways, he reminds me of my father.
So one of the other things we've got here is, this is something, again, that seems to be carried over from Path of Exile 1. As we talk to characters, we will get the ability to talk to characters about each other. So probably if I go back to Renly now, I can talk to him about Una.
She'd best watch her back.
Wait, where was Renly? I thought he was, by the entrance, but... Okay, he must have just been there for a moment as we come in, but... Let's see. Okay, yep, we have the stash, and we have all the players gathered around it as usual. That's pretty common. Let's go look at Finn.
Oi, it's you! The mysterious woman in the forest. We've never officially met, but you've certainly given me quite the fright a time or two. I am Finn, and I shall be your humble provider of useful and diverse objects. That are most definitely not scrounged or stolen. If I don't got it, I can get it. You just let me know.
Okay. Thou must. Right, survival.
This is a wooden tomb, if you care to see it objectively. We're not quite dead yet, but food supply is dwindling, and I've seen what hunger can make a man do. The monsters out there are not the ones that will get us in the end.
Okay, and then Renly.
Oh, Renly's all right. Only man in the village that didn't run me out of town whenever he saw me. Well, maybe it's because he didn't have a daughter to protect.
Okay, so we can buy and sell items from Finn.
None of it's junk. Trust me.
So Finn will get us random items per gold. So this is one thing that's different from PoE 1. Okay, so this is the gamble mechanic. Right, we're going to get a random item of various types. We won't know what it is until we've got it. And presumably we could overpay or underpay pretty dramatically based on what it rolls. Okay. And one of the things that's different here,
At least he's
PoE 1
honest
did not
about
have
being a
a
liar.
gold mechanic, or it added one late, but it's not. Was no fungible resource like gold. You traded a bunch of little weird consumable items as your various currencies. So we're kind of comparing this to PoE 1, which I have not fully played. Like, I am in Act 2 of PoE 1.
What have we got?
All right. And yeah, we didn't get any additional things that he wants to talk about. So yeah, he will
Here's
sell
what
us
I've got.
things where we know what they are. Okay.
If you find I might write down.
And if we go back to Una, she'll also buy herself, so she'll get us flasks and things and magic-y stuff.
Anything shall I.
And okay, so the other thing we've got here is difference between a bow and a crossbow. Well, one of the other classes said it used crossbows, and my class says it uses bows. So I think that's probably the biggest difference. And then she can also disenchant items, which will destroy the item. So okay, if I were to disenchants into a transmutation shard. So this is how sales used to work. Basically, instead of selling for gold, right, we can destroy it and turn it into stuff that will transform other items. Focus are items that equipped in your offhand require intelligence. Okay, yeah, we will not be using foci because we use a quiver in our offhand. So I'm going to go ahead and disenchant this into a transmutation shard. And then we head over here to the stash. Okay, this is your stash. It normally has 4 tabs in it. Mine has a 5th because I bought a 5th tab on Path of Exile 1, and they carry over your purchases. So yeah, this game expects you to play it with a larger community. This is an online service game thing. So we have 5 tabs worth of stuff to hold. This is the only thing you can pay it for in this game, other than cosmetics, is more space in your stash. My stash will be bigger next time you see it because I'm going to be buying some additional specialized stash tabs in PoE 1 that will show up over here as well. But everything that we're not going to need in combat, we are going to put over here for now until we know what we're doing with it. I can also right-click this to engrave a skill gem. Let's see what happens if we do that. Okay, so here we go. Gem cutting. So instead of having random gems drop, which is how it worked in the previous game, looks like this time we can decide what we want to do. So we have our bow things. I have a lightning... Right, the exclamation. You already have this equipped, so it warns me to not build it. Escape shot. Leap backwards and fire an arrow which can chill or freeze enemies around the location you escaped from.
Use escape shot. Use escape shot to jump back. Use escape shot to jump backwards and shoot an explosion of ice. This skill is very effective for freezing enemies, but deals low damage.
Okay, so this is a GTF out of the problem there.
Escape.
Okay. Poison arrow.
Use escape shot to jump backwards.
So lightning arrow I already have, so they don't want me to create another one there. And then fire an arrow that drops from above, creating a lightning burst, remains in the ground, and chaining lightning beams can chain to it. When chained to, the arrows release another... Ah! So my current lightning arrow can chain. Or no. Yeah, it fires chaining lightning beams. The arrow itself does not. Okay. I don't think I'm going to try to make another gem right this moment, so let's go back to my stash. I'm just going to go ahead and stash the uncut skill gem here. Oh, I can't. Okay, some items cannot be put in your stash. They're generally things that are not tradable. So this... Oh, yeah, this is a quest item. Okay. So it wants me to just... Maybe I do normally just find gems. We're going to hold on that. I have space to keep that around. Let's go ahead and see. We have travel to the Grellwood. Okay, we have our quest tab. So we have Treacherous Ground. We can slay the Devourer, which is going to be here. Or travel to the Grellwood, which takes me kind of out that way as well. Let's go ahead and head for here, then, I think. So we want to head toward Clearfell. I haven't... Oh! I have to uncut my skill. Fine. Okay. I think we're going to take Escape Shot to have something that can help me GTF out of situations. Then let's going to go ahead and we're going to equip that. And we can slot further things on to support it. Okay. And now I have Escape Shot, which I'm going to want to click and bind somewhere. We're going to bind that to my other thumb button. Yeah, Escape Shot does feel very Hades. This game's combat is definitely feeling a bit more Hades than the previous one, which I will not complain about. Okay. So what Escape Shot does is, well, I'll show you. So it's what it says is it fires a shot basically at the spot. It jumps out of the way and fires a shot at the spot you were at. So what should happen... Oh, okay, we have our check.